This is Queen Mangala. Today I'm going to talk about Earth, our only home, and how we're going to protect it. Before I talk about how we're going to protect Earth, we're going to talk about the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, and how they can help us protect Mother Earth. What are the SDGs? The Sustainable Development Goals have been created as part of the Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The goals are a continuation from the Millennium Development Goals, MDGs. The MDGs are 80 anti-poverty targets adopted by multiple countries in the year 2000 in the hope of achieving them by the year 2015. These goals included goal number 1, developing a global partnership for development, eradicating extreme poverty and hunger, achieving universal primary education, ensure environmental sustainability, promote gender equality and empower women, combat HIV/AIDS, malaria and other diseases, improve maternal health and reduce health mortality. Even though the MDGs resulted in enormous progress, the goals were never fully achieved. The SDGs were introduced on September 2015 and are more extensive than the MDGs. The aim of the SDGs is to deal with the root cause of poverty as well as encouraging the world to shift toward universal development that works well for people. The SDGs help guide global efforts to ensure poverty around the world is reduced and people around the world live better without damaging the planet within the next 15 years, that is from 2016 to 2030. So here I'm going to talk about the Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 in total. So goal number 1 talks about no poverty. Here we must end poverty in all its forms and everywhere. Goal number 2 talks about zero hunger. We must ensure that we end hunger, achieve food security, improve nutrition, promote sustainable agriculture. 815 people in the world, or 10.7%, suffer from chronic undernourishment, that is according to Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. 150 million of under 5-year children are estimated to be stunted in the year 2017. That is according to UNICEF, World Health Organization, and World Bank. 448 million people today are hungry and live in conflict-hungry affected areas. 75% of children who are stunted live in conflict areas where conflict interferes with food and agricultural production as well as economy by driving food prices. Goal number 4 talks about equality and quality of education. As you can see here, there's a group of children who are learning together, and by the picture you can see that they're learning in such a modern way whereby they're all together, and there's a picture of the world in which they are up to date with what is happening in the world. From this picture I can see it's a picture talking about climate. Goal number 5 talks about gender equality. And then goal number 6 talks about clean water and sanitation. There must be an understanding to everybody to know that 894 million people don't have access to improved water supply sources. And 2.5 million people today live without even basic sanitation. And 1.5 million people die from preventable diseases each year. That can result from cholera or can be typhoid, dysentery. And by the year 2025, 1.8 billion people will be living in absolute water scarce regions. So we must ensure that there's access to water and sanitation for all. Goal number 7 talks about affordable and clean energy. We must ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. Goal number 8 talks about decent work and economic growth. We must promote inclusive and sustainable economic growth, employment, and decent work for all. Goal number 9 talks about industrial innovations and infrastructure. We must build resilient infrastructure to promote sustainable industrialization and foster innovations in the world. Goal number 10 talks about reduce inequalities. There must be reduced inequality within and among countries. Goal number 11 talks about sustainable cities and communities. We must make our cities inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable for all. Goal number 12 talks about responsible consumption and production. Here I was talking about areas where there's conflict, where agriculture patterns tend to affect people, and then in those areas hunger tends to rise. So we must reduce that consumption and the production patterns to a level whereby there's agriculture that is sustainable for all and that can end hunger. Goal number 13 talks about climate action. We must take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. As you can see from this picture, it demonstrates how climate action has changed because we have not acted accordingly. There's change in rain and snow patterns, change in animal migration life cycle, high temperatures and more heat waves, stronger storms, damaged corals, rise in sea levels, warmer oceans, more drought and wildfire, changes in plant life cycles. Goal number 14 talks about life below water. We must protect life below water because only that there is no sustenance, it also provides life on land. So we must conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources wisely. Goal number 15 talks about life on land. We must sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, halt and reserve land degradation, halt biodiversity and loss. If we continue to cut trees and we fail to plant them, we are going to create a desert. So to every one tree that we cut, 2 trees must be planted. In all levels, from children to adults, we must encourage afforestation in schools and in offices in our world today. Goal number 16 talks about peace, justice, and strong institutions. We must promote just and peaceful, inclusive societies. And the last goal that talks about partnership for the goals, the SDG goals. We must revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development. So this is an example of our partnership to achieve the sustainable developed world that we need. There must be a partnership between people, planet, so that we can be able to achieve a peaceful and sustainable world. We must ensure that we end poverty and hunger in all its forms and ensure dignity and equality for all. We must protect our planet, natural resources, and climate for future generations. We must ensure that prosperous and fulfilling lives in harmony with nature by protecting our planet. We must implement the agenda for the goals through a solid partnership between people and the planet, so that we can have a peaceful planet that fosters just and inclusive societies. So as you can see, a lot needs to be done in order to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. That includes social progress by ending hunger, by making sure that we are all moving together as one, because the SDGs don't aim to just leave anybody behind, but we aim to go together as one, and then we don't leave anybody behind. So to achieve the sustainable world that we want, we must protect our environment so that it's bearable and viable. At the same time, we go through a social progress where we are all going together as one in a way that everybody is moving away from hunger so it can be equitable and economic growth might be achieved. There are ways in which we can use to dispose our waste so that we can protect our environment. One can include having 2 bins, one that includes a wet bin and one that includes a dry bin. The wet bin can be used to convert that wet manure or wet waste product into manure that can be used to fertilize our gardens. We can switch items off the socket when they are not in use, that is using electricity. It's surprising how much electricity can still be used while you have failed to plug out your chargers or your equipment that you are using to charge your phones or your laptops, anything that you use. Recharging devices are equally bad as they will continue to waste electricity when nothing is plugged onto it. Leaking taps also needs to be fixed because a leaking tap may not seem to be dripping much at first glance, but consider how much water leaks over a day or during the week. Can equal to maybe 20 liters. Rain harvesting is another thing that I've discovered. People are using rainwater to harvest, and then they can use that rainwater to water their gardens or to bath or cooking after some time. There are other ways in which you should know about waste that don't get to be part of the earth or that don't get to rot. Kitchen waste takes 3 to 6 months to become part of the earth. Paper tissue takes 10 to 12 months before it can become part of the earth. Woolen socks takes 1 year to be part of the earth. Cigarette butts takes 7 to 15 years. Aluminium cans 10 years. Disposable nappies 45 years. Plastic takes 450 years. Thermocol or styrofoam, it never gets part of the earth. But if you attempt to ban Thermocol, it will do more harm to the environment because it releases toxic fumes that harm the ozone layer. So as you can see, a lot needs to be done to bring down these numbers that way from the CPO 221 in Paris, the climatic numbers, so that we can go down to a level where the earth can be able to sustain itself in a long time, not only between now and 2030, but beyond 2030, so that the next generation after us can live through a better world. Just as we cannot blame others for destroying the environment, so we cannot look to others to protect the environment. Responsibility for both begins at home. Take action for climate today. Make sure that you are part of the group that is going to help and protect the planet so that we can be able to live in a sustainable world. Are you going to be part of the group that works today to make sure that climate action today is going to be taken in schools, in government offices, everywhere in the world? Act now today so that you may have a tomorrow. May God bless you, and I would love to hear from you. You can send me a tweet. I'll be able to respond to you within 1 or 2 days. Thank you very much.